مسات النور تاج البدر يبرزها نجما يشع بأنوار وأنوار مبارك زوجها جاءت على درار زوج النقاء بتتويج وإبهار.
So let's begin now. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And I'm so happy that you all were able to join today to learn some new strategies which could connect your child to the Quran. And you know what? Today's surah is Surah Al Maun. It's a lovely, lovely surah which talks about acts of kindness, which tells you how to gain love of Allah. Isn't it great? It's wonderful and it's amazing. And it's also interesting to know what ways can bring us close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because whatever we do for Allah. So let's begin with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Surah Maun is revealed in Makkah. And this is Surah number 107. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Would you like to know what is the meaning of, or what is the translation of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Let's purify our intentions now. Because whatever we do it for Allah. Allahumma ja'al amali kullahu saliha waj'alhu liwajhika khalisa walataj'al li ahadin fihi shay'a. O Allah, make all my deeds righteous and make them sincere to attain your countenance, and do not make anything of it for anyone. Now a dua to make things easy for us to understand. So, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. My Lord, expand for me my breast and ease for me my task, and untie the knot from my tongue that they may understand my speech. I know there is a child in today's session, so that's why I'm being a little careful in my talk. And also I want to sound friendly and sweet. That's how we should be when we are dealing with Quran, especially in front of the children. We have to be really, really loving, caring when we are reading Quran with the children, especially with the young children, because that's how you can connect them well to the words of Allah. Okay, so Miral is here. Miral, please, would you like to recite the surah for us, Surah Maun?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون.
Jazakallah, alhamdulillah, that was a lovely kirat done by Miral Fatima. And this surah is a beautiful surah with, let's count the verses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many colors in a rainbow? Can you make a guess? Can you make a guess how many colors are there in a rainbow? Oh my God, there are 7 verses in the surah. So make a guess. Make a guess. How many colors in a rainbow? Just like that, you can take a start in a classroom, or you can take a start at home if you are uh, doing it, reciting it, or helping your child listen, or bringing in their notice how many verses are there, and maybe make something a project with rainbow. Uh, Maybe show them a rainbow. There are many times right after the rain in North America, or sometimes in Canada, that you get to see the actual rainbow. And whenever you see that, please make connection with the surah, because or anything that shows you seven. So make the connection with what they are learning with the surah. Okay. Maybe you are going outside helping somebody, then you can make a connection, because it has got beautiful messages that talks about helping orphans, giving food to the needy, and also giving small objects, like daily use objects to the neighbors who are close to us. So whenever you get the chances of these, please make a note that you use this surah, and you describe this surah to them. Yesterday only I got a chance to discuss this surah with my own kids. My kids, one of them is in the teenager age bracket, that is 12 to 18, and another child is in 18 to 24. So even I am looking for situations where I can get a chance to discuss or reflect on the verses of Quran. How did I get the chance? I got the chance when we went out to eat something. So my daughter asked me, can we go out to eat ice cream? And I said, why not? Let's go. And then there I took the chance. We had a nice dessert in D Spot. I'm sure you must have heard of that place. And when we came back at home, we sat together. And then that was the best chance I could avail, and talk about how some people get to have the food and some people do not. So, what should we do when we see people around us who cannot afford having good meals? What should be the role of us? And then there I started with Surah Maun. Please look for situations, conditions, and try to use them to connect them to Quran. If I would have done this formally, I'm not sure how I would have got the result. But when there is a situation through which you are going, it's the best time you can attract your children towards your talk and get them engaged, and also get them reflect. Why I'm saying to reflect? Because this surah is starting with a beautiful question which helps us to reflect. And it's a way of Allah. Allah in the first verse has asked, have you seen who belies the religion? So he is saying this to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also to the ones who are now reading it. So giving us a chance to reflect, giving us a chance to think. So Allah Himself has started this surah in such a special way by asking a question. So same is what I tried to bring in their notice, that have you ever noticed people around you, how you are having good food, but you do see there are people who are around you are not getting it? What can we do to support them? Like, ask questions. If these are older kids, they would love to reflect on topics like these. I'm talking about 12 to 18 and 20 and 18 to 24. They will really get engaged if you talk to them if you give them a chance to reflect. Okay. The activity that you see in front of you is match the slips. Young children who are 0 to 6 or 6 to 9, they love, what do you say, movements. They love to learn through movements. So you can give them slips printed on a paper, give them a chance to cut them out, let them cut out and match it to the whole, the picture of the whole. Let them find out the words in the picture. Ask them, where do you see al yatim or the orphan? Can you point at in the picture, or can you match this to the picture? In the same way, al miskin, in the same way, with deen, the religion. Interestingly, there are different interpretations that scholars have done for Bidin here. It can be religion or it can be last day of judgment. So we will discuss that very soon. Okay. So this is one activity that you can do with the kids. This is a little introduction, but also can be done as a to-do list in the classroom. You can write down some points for them to do on a weekend, give them like a homework, and then introduce this surah like a pre-activity. You can give this as a pre-activity before the weekend. Ask your children, can you do these? And then when they come back, just tick mark the check the box if they have done any one good deed from these. So let's learn. It's an activity and also a way for me to introduce this surah to you. The surah talks about people who deny two important duties. You know what duties are those? Which every Muslim should be able to do. The true teachings of Islam. People forget what are the true teachings of Islam. They think that just offering prayers, fasting, and paying zakah and doing Hajj is a normal chore that every Muslim is doing, and they do it without having a feel of it. So if you really think what you're doing, if you really have a feel of it, by really having a feel of it is feeling deep inside, having that feeling in your heart that whatever you are doing for Allah. And when you keep Allah in between you and the deed, it is then when your intention get pure, and then only you feel you have the true feeling of it. Then you will not do it for show off. You will actually do it for Allah, not to please the people, but to only please Allah. So these are the true teachings of Islam. But sometimes, in a regular basis, we forget that. We just keep saying our 5 times prayer, and then we just rush with the time, and we are more worried to for the things which we are doing before or after. Sometimes we are thinking of the things that we were doing before, and sometimes we are thinking of the things which will come later on, but we are so worried about those things that we keep having thoughts of those things in our mind during the prayers. And of course, the enemy shaitan is there to put the waswasa, to put that bad thought in your mind, to trigger those thoughts, right? But what do we have to do? We have to think about Allah. We have to recite the surah and think about Allah with heart, and the shaitan will stop whispering. Then another is the responsibility to care for the poor and the orphans. It is such a beautiful observation if you can make with your children around you. I hope you are able to talk about them, because observation is the key to everything around us for all learning. And Montessori philosophy is based on observation. It's very important to walk with your child, go into places and let them observe. You also observe and then talk about it. So talk about what is our responsibility to take care for the poor and orphans. Then how do these people, those are good Muslims. So these people think they are good Muslims or not. You know, talk about that. But in reality, what do? They ignore those in need. They pray, but their prayers are careless, as I mentioned earlier, and done only to impress others. They even refuse to do small acts of kindness. Because of this, Allah is displeased with them. Are we making Allah displeased? That's the question. Okay. This is a very quick activity that can be done in a classroom or at home. You can get many pictures for this work. It's a beautiful surah because, again, I'm saying for children it's very important to observe. They are visual learners. They are learning through their five senses, so try to make use of their senses. Let's say for the pictures you would need the visual sense, right? So collect some pictures, put them in a mixed order, and let your child sort them out. The child can sort them out into two groups. Talk about the two groups. I mentioned to you earlier also, right? So, Deen, Deen can also mean the day of judgment. So, who who rejects the day of judgment? You have to talk about those people. And who are the people who believe in the day of judgment? That's the first verse of Surah Maun. We have to understand about it. Have you seen people who reject the day of judgment, or do you think they, they do or they do not? So think about that, and then talk, look at the pictures, and then show them the pictures and talk to them. What do you think about this? What do you think about this pretty little girl? She's sitting so nicely on the prayer mat, and with her heart, her eyes are closed, with the beautiful intention. She is praying, asking for something, and she's so much into her prayers. What do you think? Does she believe in the day of judgment? What do you think the child would say? Of course, the child can see how much interest the child is showing in the making the dua. So they will say, yes, they believe in the judgment. Then make a connection. So everybody needs a reward sometime for doing good deeds. But are we doing good deeds for the people or Allah? So if we believe in the day of judgment, that means we are doing it for Allah. Because we know that one day, a day will come when Allah will give reward to the ones who did good deeds for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the world, and then will not be pleased with some people who didn't do good deeds for Allah and they showed off, or they were really really nasty to poor and orphans. So we need to actually make a visual learning environment for them to understand these concepts. Okay, so there are more pictures you can see. You can see the face expressions of the people in the pictures. You can tell by the face expressions whether they are doing it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or they are pleasing the people around them. So there are some pictures there are some pictures on the left side. You can see the contrast in them. Some people are taking pictures while giving money to the poor people here, and they are showing off. So this is show off, right? Some, and like this boy who's praying, but it has actually some expressions on his face that shows everyone will see me when I'm praying, like he's showing off. You can talk about the picture. Here you can see that a child is not giving a small little thing to the other child, and also asking him to leave or pushing away. So all these are pictures that talks about, that gives you a good way to explain Surah Maun. And here you can see a fight between two adults who are not trying to give the rights to the orphan. So all these are nice pictures in which you can, take and sit with the child and put them in two categories. Okay. This is another activity that you can do with the children. Age group can be the ones who can read. So it's an older age group. Like for 6 to 9, you can do this activity with 6 to 9, whereas the previous one was just with the pictures. So could be done with 2.5 to 6 years. And this one, the one in which you can see the sentence where the child is getting an opportunity to read, this can be done for 6 to 9, or even for 9 to 12, depending on how much your child is capable. You can also divide these slips further. You can separate out the Arabic sentence with the English one translation, and then can actually give them the pictures and the Arabic and the English sentence, and then, cut them out, put them in different piles, and let them sort it out for you. Okay, and then arrange it. You can also play a game like a treasure hunt with them. Hide the pictures in the different places of the classroom, and then let them find out pictures or the verses or the translation. This can be done depending on the age group that you are working with. Okay. The first one is there. Have you seen the one who denies the recompense? So you see even the vocabulary is increasing. We said day of judgment. We can also say recompense for the ones who are learning, for your who are in higher grades, like for elementary or upper elementary classes. And then for the second one, for that is the one who drives away the orphans. So see, for the language teachers specifically, I'm mentioning, you can include, if you are doing it for higher classes, you can, instead of using just push away, you can say drives away the orphan. So a good chance for you to use different words to to enrich their vocabulary. Okay. Now the third one, and does not encourage the feeding of the poor. The feeding of the poor, we have to see, when we do say feed the poor, or we say give food to the poor, but here especially we are saying they does not encourage the feeding of the poor. That means it was due on them. The food already belonged to the poor. So those people who are who are discouraging others to give it to the poor are actually stopping them from their rights. The food that we give to poor actually belongs to them only. And the one who is giving, where is he getting the food from? Of course, he's given by Allah. So the person who's giving, of course, he's doing a great job, but he's actually giving the food that already belongs to him. The only thing is that we need to realize whether we think that it is ours or it is something that Allah has given us, and we are giving from what Allah has given to us. Whenever you are going to think that Allah has given it to us and I am giving from the one that Allah has given, it will be easier for me to give it. Isn't it amazing? There are beautiful secrets in this Surah Maun. If we get a chance to understand them or reflect on them, we will be better teachers to explain the children, whether in the classroom or at home. Whenever you are there with your child going to a mosque, or you are trying to take out money, you can always make good connections. You can say, oh, you know what? Yesterday this money came to me. I am so happy Allah gave extra money to me this month, because I was not expecting this amount. I used the $50, but still I'm left with 10 more. And I'm so happy Allah gave it to me. So let's give it to somebody. Make connections. How will children know if you just directly say that this belongs to the poor because, it's from Allah? How will they know? You have to make a connection by your experience. Although you are trying to teach them, but you can teach them in this best way. And there are many, many times you can use this. For example, I could say that, you know what, just bring a basket of fruits in the classroom, and you can say to the children that, you know what, I was coming to the classroom today and a friend gave this basket to me, so I thought, why not share with you guys? Because Allah gave this basket to me. He sent it through a friend, and now I'm sharing it with you. So in a practical way, you gave them a concept that what you have in a basket is actually given to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and now you're distributing it further. This is a life example, a practical example that they are going to experience, rather than just saying that, oh, I brought this basket today and I want to share it with you guys. So the children will think that, oh, Miss Amna has brought it and she is giving it to us. No, you have to make sure that you spread the message that it is given to me from Allah, and now I'm further distributing it to you, so that they understand the concept of getting things from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. So more pictures and more vocabulary with new vocabularies. So woe to those who pray. So woe to those who pray, who are heedless of their prayer. So, see, new words. So the ones who are praying, but this prayer, will it be counted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do you think there is heart and mind in the person who is going for prayers? And this one who is still outside thinking about how he's making more money, and though he's come to the mosque, but he's still on his phone, on his mobile phone. Whereas you can see the other people who are going for prayer, but they are trying to focus. They have also taken good care of their clothes, and they are very conscious of their clothing, and they are making conscious effort, and they are going to the mosque to say their prayers. Make a comparison. Who is going in a better condition? Is it this person who is always worried for what's happening with his work or money and the materialistic thing, and he's still on the phone, maybe thinking of ways? If this person is going to go into the mosque, is he be thinking about Allah more, or the one who's going consciously inside with the getting ready nicely and thinking that I am ready to go, or I am conscious now? So you have to think, and then you can definitely discuss. So those who make show off of their deeds, yuraun, show off. So you have to talk about that also. So this person, you can very well see that he is giving money. He is giving money, but for him, it's a show off. So we have to understand that there has to be a balance in our life, and we are also going to talk about balance very soon. And then in the last verse, there is, and withhold assistance, simple assistance written in the bracket. Why simple assistance? It's all about al-ma'un. Simple assistance means even smaller things that they can easily share. So those people who are showing off when they are doing good deeds, whether it's a prayer or whether when they are helping somebody, how do you think their heart is going to be? Their heart, they are so stingy that there comes a time when they even do not give small things. It's not because they don't want to give small things. It's because they don't care about others. They don't care if they are bringing smile to somebody's face or making somebody sad. They don't care about that. And you usually see it in the classroom. There are children who do not want to share their sharpeners, pencil, eraser. And it's so hard sometimes for the teachers to explain, uh, can you please share with your friend? And then they would straight away say that, no, we don't want to. My mom didn't tell me. My mom says, keep your stuff to yourself. And I'm always losing it. So, things like this, they try to say because they don't want to give. And these are small things, but you can talk about it. You can show pictures of small things, like what can be small thing if a neighbor is coming to your home. Can be salt, can be a matchbox, can be a cup of sugar, whatever, small things can be. And then talk about the rights of neighbors, make connections. This is the last activity for today. We are definitely going to be discussing more in our next session, but here let me tell you about balance in life. You can even bring a balance in the classroom. The more you teach them through practical examples, through bringing resources in the classroom, the more the concept will be clearer to them. And the more they are going to love it. In my classroom, there I had a balance. It had two boxes, or you can say two plates, and it has some weights. Children really loved working with it. So we have to show them how can we keep a balance in life, and then showing the balance, and then say, okay, we want to love Allah, and in order to love Allah we have to have balance in our life for our prayers, and for when we are praying ourselves individually as a worship, and when we are doing task for others. So when we do love for people, what can we do? We can do community work, we can go for donations, those are the things that the children can write here. So this is a writing task for 6 to 12 years old kids. And then for individual work, we can do on this paper. So I'm just showing two different color backgrounds so that you can help them write down on two different papers. And in one, they are doing their individual worship, that is having their own salamat, and then writing about it. How many times do they pray? Or what do they do for individual worship, like their own worship? And what do they do when they are loving people for the love of Allah? It's always love people for the love of Allah. So make a connection between that. Talk about balance in life. Talk about how they can do both the worshipping, one for their own self and individually by calling, making dua, and the other by helping the people, or helping the neighbors, or helping their friends. Let them talk about it and bring some resources in the classroom. I hope the session was helpful for you, and I am so happy to share these strategies with you. If you have any question in your mind, we are also be going to discuss we will discuss further activities as well. I'm hoping to have two sessions for Surah Maun, and inshallah, in my next session, that is on Thursday, I will be discussing more sessions which could be interactive, which could be age appropriate, and which could be fun for the children. Just yesterday, I heard from a teacher. She said that I work in a school which is definitely, I would say, a school where she is teaching Islamic studies, but she was not given any help when she went into the classroom. She is a young high school, student, and it was so hard to take activities. Whatever she learned in her childhood was not the way that I'm sharing today. She said it was just rote learning that they did. And the teacher was so strict when she learned her own surahs. And on that day, she decided and she told me, Miss Amna, I don't want to teach Islamic studies in this way. I really want to teach it in fun way so that the children love to learn Islamic studies from me. I don't want to be the teacher like I had in my childhood. And there I appreciated her. And there I told her, you have learned the new, or you have learned the best way of teaching today. If you think you want to bring fun in your teaching, honestly, your children are going to love you. And I know why you are doing this, why you want to apply these strategies in your classroom, because you're doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are doing it to make Allah happy. And Allah will be happy with because you are making so much effort in your lesson planning. So thank you guys for today. May Allah accept what we do for our kids. May Allah make the parenting easy for us. May Allah make teaching young children Quran easy for us. Ameen. And may Allah keep us all on the straight path. I can take your questions. I'm going to stop recording here.